What's up, you guys? Awan Groundwalker here, doing a collection video right now. Let's get down in the studio. Wanted to start it off from up at the very top of the staircase because that's how you kind of get into the studio, and this is it. So this isn't going to be only an action figure collection tour, but we're going to be giving a tour of everything. So here is this one piece I have. This is my fire escape brick piece right here. Sorry if you hear music. My brother's playing music upstairs, but here it is. I set it like this. This is a fire escape from Tom Budd that was poked into one of my own walls that I created a while ago. The reason for it is because Tom's walls that he uses, which you'll see are an apartment type of dial, and they're too small to have the fire escape being like up, you know, and able to like climb down and use in shots. So I was able to stick it through mine as well. Next, the screwdriver shouldn't be down here. You know, there's a lot of stuff that my parents use that is stored down here, like some of our printers and stuff. This light table, however, is mine, and I keep it here while I'm not using it, but that goes into some of my shots when I want it. Next is all pretty much junk. Then we got my Ulanzi cube lights. That's my little charging station over here. This printer's not plugged in, but it's got both tripods for the Ulanzi cube lights right here. And then obviously this cord that is actually running up top our basement fridge to charge these. So I just keep them here. It's actually not on all the way. There we go. Whenever I'm not using them. Then in these cabinets, we'll talk about what's in here real quick. We got this dump truck I have for shots with some props. Little pool table I haven't used yet for some shots. Some Legos, my Ghostbusters house, a lot of Mini-Mate scale stuff. All my Mini-Mates and Mini-Mate props are in there, and some foam and other stuff is in there as well. Nothing too crazy, just extra props sometimes. Next, we got the first collection. You guys can see me. What's up? This is my Bandai Tamashii Nations Marvel collection. So, we open, these are my Detolfs. Open both these up. You guys can get a full tour. So first of all, we got the Infinity War shelf. This is one of my favorite shelves. It's all from Infinity War. The only character that's not from Infinity War is Figma Deadpool, is kind of here just to be a fourth wall breaker and somewhere to keep them. So we got our Titan team basically. So we got Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spidey. This is Spidey from the beginning of the movie, obviously also his homecoming suit. I'm getting the Mafex Iron Spider that will go in this display right here, and then a Star-Lord I'm also on the search for. But yeah, so I have Doctor Strange obviously modified with the Noda kit, so that's why he has a different, sorry guys, the focus is being weird. That's why he has a different head sculpt and a cloth cape, and then we got the Iron Man Mark 50, I believe, back there. And Nebula, we got the Avengers Infinity War Thanos kind of staying here, and then we got the Mafex Thor, the front runner of the Wakanda team. We got the Build-A-Figure M'Baku, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Captain America, Bucky, War Machine, and Black Panther. Sorry guys, I'm trying to like think of everyone's names for some reason. And then Falcon's right here because I have him in his flying pose and I can't really put him in here. I do hope to put my Dora Milaje army in here so it really looks like the Infinity War setup. I will get to that, but right now they're in my army builder area, which we'll get to. Second shelf is the endgame slash, I guess, time travel section, so that's why we have some Tony Stark action with his Mark, I believe 6 and 7 suits right here, I believe. So those look pretty good. Basically a suit from the beginning of Avengers and then the end of Avengers. And we got Iron Man on his stand looking pretty good, Tony Stark. We got Endgame Iron Man looking good, you know, snapping his fingers. Again, kit from Noda is how he looks, kind of like a Hot Toys almost right here, which I really like. Looks like good like that, so that's pretty cool. Then we got the Endgame Thanos right here, about to square off against the Avengers. We got Cap, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Thor, Fat Thor, Ant-Man, and Black Widow. Next, we move down to my pretty much my personal favorite shelf, the Mezco shelf. So these guys are pretty freaking awesome. Starting in the back, we got Deadpool and Doctor Strange and Gomez. Then we got Old Man Logan and Young Logan, as well as Netflix Punisher right here. And then we got both Netflix Daredevils back to back right here. And then the Mezco Punisher standing in all his glory in the front. Then right here we got my classic Joker on the regular body, but with the a cast of the deluxe head, I guess, painted by my man Ryan Folsom. He did that, and the battle him, you know, is like punched up face, which I'm super happy about. So he looks really good. We got the kind of street punk Joker. We got a Joker goon back there. We got Catwoman from, I think, DC Icons or Essentials or one of the DC lines. The Mezco Gordon with the bat signal, and then Sovereign Knight Batman with the DC multiverse, I believe, Alfred. So I love this Batman section. It's awesome. I love my Mezco Batman collection. I can't wait to continue. Ow, just kicked the TV right here. Continue expanding on it. And I'll get to why the TV's down here. Then we got our Mafex Batman Nolan trilogy shelf. So we got Joker and Bane back there, and then Bruce Wayne and the Batman from Batman Begins. Again, modified by Noda, this head sculpt is. The Batman that's back there is the 3.0 Batman, my normal Prime Batman. This one's the backup. But the reason why it's back there is because I actually broke the neck peg, so I'm trying to get that repaired right now. Next on here, we got a prop boat for my displays, and then the Harry Potter and Voldemort from McFarlane. Oh, getting up, closing this up. So yeah, guys, that was the, this is mainly the import shelf. For the most part, you know, it has Mezco in here, so it's not completely imports, and it's not, you know, it's not Star Wars and stuff, but it's pretty good. So, oh, I just stepped on this grate. The TV's down here because we're keeping it, we're gonna put it on the wall when I move out, and this becomes a gym. Next, we have my diorama creating area, I guess you could say. As you can tell, I'm pretty busy doing prop stuff right now. That's why there's so many barrels and, you know, stuff for me to paint and decorate. Paint and weather up. I haven't visited or used this table in a little bit. It's been a couple weeks just because I've been mainly focusing on my ACBA grind, but I still come back to this table quite a bit. You know, we got my paints down there and my airbrush, and these are my two basically shelving units, I guess, of a lot of paints and knives and just stuff I use for my dioramas. And then on top of here, it just looks like a pile of trash, but it's actually not. The paper towel I use for rimming cutouts. I put the cutouts on there so I don't mess up my table. Then underneath that, there's a T ruler, and then underneath that, there is some window frames that I'm using for dioramas. And the wood beams are kind of the same, they're diorama usage. Got a little thing of lightsabers over here. We don't really know where to put that, my personal trash can. But talking about one of my next favorite shelves, the Star Wars shelf. Ooh, you guys can see me in the reflection. So let's talk about this shelf. It opens just on the side of it. This one has lights in it, which is cool. Another detail, I only have two. And let's talk about my collection right here. So I'm using this on camera, so the focus may be whack sometimes. God, voice cracks. So we got my New Hope team. This is compiled, I guess, of Black Series figures and SH Figure Arts figures. We have the SHF model kit R2D2, I believe is what that one is. The Bandai Han and Luke, both SHF figures. And then we have the Black Series Leia, Obi-Wan, and Chewbacca. I'm planning on getting a new Chewbacca because this one's utter garbage. Then we got the Black Series X-Wing pilot Luke. You know, this is basically the whole original trilogy hero cast with our New Hope crew up front. But as you can see, we got our kind of Hoth / X-Wing fighter Luke right there, our C-3PO back there, and then we got the Bandai Return of the Jedi Luke back there, and then a cool Black Series kind of ATSD, I guess, leg piece like dio that kind of came with explosions, and I use those explosions in my set, so that's why that's back there. Then we got our original trilogy, basically bad guy crew essentially. We got Darth Vader up front. This is the Star Wars Return of the Jedi Bandai / SHF Darth Vader. We got the Black Series Palpatine here. We got the Mafex Return of the Jedi Boba Fett right here. Something fell by my feet. And then mainly we just have a lot of Black Series commands, right? We got 3 different officers. We got Tarkin and 2 of the same officers. I believe, starts with a V, I forget his name. We have one of the crew members, like the Death Star crew members, which has the bullseye head on because I was using that in the display. I'm trying to get the focus right. Then we got 3 stormtroopers in the back, all SHF. We got 2 Scarif troopers, both Black Series. The Death Troopers Black Series. This Scout Trooper, I guess, is Black Series. Same with the Med Ball. And then this Battle Damage Stormtroopers Black Series, as well as the 2 Sand Troopers behind him. So we got quite a good array of original trilogy, you know, cast members in terms of the heroes and villains. I'm still always trying to build on this with Black Series and with SHF, you know, getting more figures, getting more troopers. But I'm pretty happy with the collection so far. Next, we get down to the other Star Wars shelf. This is the prequels and sequel shelf. Again, doesn't get as much love as the original trilogy shelf. Of course, there's a reason why, because the original trilogy is the best trilogy. But taking a look, we got the Return of the Jedi. We got the Revenge of the Sith Anakin and Obi-Wan right here, looking good in the front, both SHF. We got the SHF Darth Maul in Episode 1 Obi-Wan. You know, so it's basically enemies, essentially, is the prequel theme here, because we have, you know, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, basically the essential enemies of Episode 3. We got Episode 1 Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, the essential enemies of Episode 1, and then Mace Windu and Jango Fett. I wouldn't say the essential enemies of Episode 2, but, you know, they definitely fight each other, and Mace Windu ends up lopping off his head. But that's the SHF Mace Windu with the Black Series Jango Fett. Next, we got our Force Awakens crew back there with our Poe Dameron, Finn, Luke, Han. We don't have a Force Awakens Rey, but there's the Last Jedi Rey and the Rise of Skywalker Rey. This is basically just the heroes section, just like as this had a heroes versus villains, this does as well. This really doesn't. They're kind of coupled together because I don't have a lot of prequel figures. And then the villain section of the First Order, I guess, we have our Supreme Leader Kylo from Rise of Skywalker, and then our Last Jedi Kylo, and then our Captain Phasma from SHF as well, and then 2 First Order Stormtroopers from Black Series. We've got our 3, I actually have 6 of these guys, but only 3 on display. They're the Red Praetorian Knights, I believe, or what? That's something that looks like what they're called, I think. And then our Black Series Snoke back there. Now, closing this up, taking a look at what's below, you will notice we have 2 of the coolest, in my opinion, coolest Dio pieces you can come to collect if you do ACBA. We have the Muppets Kitchen, super expensive if you guys try to find it, but hopefully you can get a good deal like I did. The Muppets Kitchen right here, and then the the Matrix, I think McFarlane did this set, but I'm not 100% sure. Stairway set. So we got both these to use whenever I want to use them. Then we have our basically on-card, you know, mint and package type of deal here. This is also where I store figures I have yet to review. Some of them I have yet to review, some of them I just haven't had time to open, and others, they're doubles. So mainly the Storm, I'll go through them all actually real quick, but there's the Friday 13th Jason, which I have 2 of. I actually got him as a gift. The second one, Morbius is in here, I haven't opened them. The whole Super Scroll Wave is in here besides Doom, so I gotta review those. God, my voice cracks. Storm is on the bottom. I have 2 of her, 2 Black Series Chewbacca's, 2 Black Panthers, actually 3 Black Panthers, and then I believe I have X-Force Wolverine and the 80th Anniversary Captain America, and I think those are the only doubles I have. So, and then some Legos at the bottom. So, taking a look at the ACBA table, you guys all want to see this where the magic happens, and I'll explain kind of how I sort my, my stuff based on how I use it. So, the reason why we have a Disney book here and then a cutting board is because this is actually the perfect level I need for if I ever choose to do monitor shots, which is under my table. I don't know if you guys can see that. I keep that under my table. So I keep it just here in case. I think I'm gonna eventually end up storing this somewhere else so I have more room on my table. But for now, that's where that goes. Next, we have our cutouts binder, just right here with all of our cool cutout things that the ACBA cutouts, I guess, come in. I don't know what they're called, I guess packaging, basically. Normally this goes, which I'll show you, in this shelving unit here, but right now it's out because I'm basically using cutouts almost in every single one of my displays. To the left is where I keep all of my new figures I'm getting. So as you can see, we have a new WWE figure, which is going to end up being one of my thugs in my ACBA displays with some GPS lock clothing. Got our Black Series Empire Strikes Back Yoda, still have yet to review and open, and then the Reveltech Spider-Man. This is the real deal, and I got it. There's a whole long story if you guys have followed my IG. Basically, I was scammed by a guy, but then, probably 6 months later almost, I got in touch with his wife, and she sent it to me eventually with no further payment, so that was amazing. So I'm super happy to own it, and I definitely have to bust it open. To the left, which these should be over, are my action figure flight stands. I just keep them in this area. They're never going to get in the way, but if I need them, they're very close by and I can reach for them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I actually have 11. Yeah, I have 11. There was an 11th hiding behind that one. I don't know. There we go. So I have 11, which is pretty freaking awesome. I have that many flight stands, so I can use them anytime I want. There's different. I categorize them by sizes, as you can tell. Oh, sorry guys. I ate a big meal right before this. Hand sanitizer in case I need to wash my hands before, not wash, but clean my hands before posing figures or touching cutouts or anything. Atmosphere aerosol, we got a can here. I have, I think, 4 or 5 more cans in the shelf, which I'll show you guys, but that's here for any time I need it. The dust offs for, you know, if I need to blow some sand or whatever is on here off of it, or if I need to blow, you know, dust off a figure or whatever. We have our little container of poly for anytime I need poly in my displays. We have my second lens, specifically some macro lens for any close-ups I want to do. I keep that close by. Close by. We have our color filters for the Ulanzi cube lights. I just keep them right here because once I grab them off their charging stands, I put them right here. I get them all situated with the lighting I want, and then I can use them. And then when I'm done, I take the color filters off and then go put them back where they charge. Next to that, we have our kind of wax area. You're like, what the hell is a wax area? So this is basically my adhesives, what I use to basically levitate or put the cutouts on certain stuff. Not only cutouts, but also certain props or effects or anything. So this is basically where I keep it all. So we got my orange tack right here, which is pretty strong, but it's been known to rip off paint, so I use it only in very, you know, sensitive areas. Our Baby Bell wax right here, a big ball of it in case we need any more. And then we got our 3 dots right here. Those 3 dots are mainly for cutouts. I just have them already basically sized up how I want them whenever I use a cutout. And then we got our light blue tack, which actually just came with, I think it came with a Spider-Man effect, a Spidey Sense effect I got from Justin's Customs on eBay, his 3D printing shop. So I haven't really used it yet in display, but it seems very strong. And then we got our classic blue tack that I've actually had for quite a bit that works very well. And it's not like Baby Bell wax cheese where it leaves a little bit of kind of you know, like residue on the figure diorama. It's strong, but it doesn't really rip off the paint, so I tend to use it as much as I can in terms of, I guess, displaying. Next, we have our whole basically display area. First, we'll talk about this because this just probably looks like random stuff in here, but it's actually a system. So first, we have on the right side, our essentials. This is basically what I call the cutout section. So we use my cutout scissors, which you guys will see more in our ACBA how-tos cutout area, but my cutout scissors, my pen that I outline them with, my knife for opening up any new figures I have, my glue stick for gluing them to black cardstock, and then an X-Acto knife because you never know when you're going to need it. Sometimes use it for cutouts. On the left, we have our Sharpies and pens and pencils, as well as our hole punch. Our hole punch is used for any backdrops that don't already have a hole punch through them, because that's how I attach them to the pegboard, which I'll show you guys more in a second. We have 2 laser pens in here. This is also a laser pen, the one I pulled out, but it's also a UV light and a flashlight. It has multiple cool settings, so I use that sometimes. This should actually be in here, but we'll put it in here for now. Yeah, and the rest are just Sharpies and stuff for any time I need to write anything, or sometimes use the red Sharpies for blood effects. You never know. So that's what that's in there. And then on the closest slot here, we have our little light here. This is kind of used as an accent light most of the time. I rarely use it because it's not that powerful. We have our rubber bands. Those are used to mainly diffuse lights and hold them up here, but I've also, you know, used them in other areas. Our middle is where we keep our SD cards in there. And then the far one is the Apple TV remote, because the Apple TV controls the TV down here so I can get images onto it. Now we have basically the photography area. Quite a bit of space here to maneuver and do things. We obviously have, let's see, our 2 clip lights on the edge of the table. We have our desk lamp here and our desk lamp over there. Then we have our 2 snake lights pretty far positioned from the backdrop for whenever I need them, right there and there. And then our light that will most of the time light above. So really there's what, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 7 lights on the table. Oh, forgetting about that one. That strip light actually normally goes back here to light up the backdrop. So technically, normally there's 8 lights on the table at one time, which is pretty crazy, but I'm so very fortunate to have that space. We have a fan down here because, believe it or not, it gets very hot in this basement sometimes in the summer, and it is summer right now, so I have to turn that on sometimes to keep myself cool down here. Now, probably like, where are the Marvel Legends? Where are the dios and props? You know, this seems pretty organized. Well, as you can see, I have quite a lot of cabinets around me, and those are very cleverly placed for a reason. Now, cabinets 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 cabinets are my parents, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just housing piping and stuff. There's really nothing behind it. That's why my backdrops lean up against it. This is a pane of glass here that I use for glass technique shots, and then back here are just all my different colored backdrops for whenever I need them. And then I have these 2. So Besides, we'll talk about the pegboard real quick. That's how I attach the cutouts. I hole punch them and then put that through it, which can be adjusted to anywhere on the pegboard. I believe that's what it's called. And then we have our two that are holding up our black felt, and whenever we need it, we can just take this down, put it over here, spread the black felt, and then when we don't need it, we put it back. The umbrella light I really don't use on neither of them, so yeah. Anyway guys, let's look at Marvel Legends. Alright guys, opening up the big bad shelf. Doesn't look like anything's fallen yet, so should be good. Oh, woo! All right, guys, we got a huge collection here to go through, so let's get started, shall we? We have our X-Men shelf area. God, there's not a lot of room to maneuver, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. But and I don't even know if I can list off. There's so many people. But we basically have Revoltech figures in the front, which these are gonna move actually to the Detolf. Holy cow, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, we got Blue Team right here, led by Cyclops, and we got Wolverine there. We got Nightcrawler, Gambit, Psylocke is behind Nightcrawler, and then we got Beast, and then Rogue is behind Wolverine. Professor X is missing because he's actually being used down here, which we'll get to. We got Gold Team over there. We got Wolverine's actually not a part of Gold Team. We got Storm, Iceman, Bishop, Jean Grey, Colossus, Archangel, however you want to say it, and then Forge. So we got all them, and then in the back we just have a lot of 90s X-Men. We have, you know, two versions of Havoc back there, the 90s classic, and then the more modern look. We have Magic, Kitty Pryde, Dazzler's back there, Jubilee. Oh, I forgot Jubilee's a part of Blue Team, and she's behind Beast. We got two versions of Cable. We have Polaris, another Storm besides the classic look. We have X-23, another Iceman. A couple Wolverines and Deadpools and old Toy Biz figures back there. And that's mainly it. We have another Colossus right there. And then on the villains side, after we have the 3-pack, the Love Triangle 3-pack Wolverine versus, you know, not Colossus, oh my god, Cyclops in front squaring up. But on the villain side, we have two versions of Juggernaut, two versions of Magneto. We have our classic Magneto up front, and then our dark suit. I don't know really what line that's from. Magneto there. We got our Sabretooth up front as well, and then we got a Mystique that's way back there. We need a new Mystique to put up front. We got Apocalypse and Scarlet Witch, the version from the I think from the 3-pack with Quicksilver and Magneto, so that's where those are. And then my favorite part of the shelf, the Avengers collection. Holy crap, this team is insane. This is my favorite part of literally both shelves. This is my favorite part. So just going over our classic Avengers team I have here, we have our Black Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Thor, Cap, Scarlet Witch, Hulk, Vision, Ant-Man, Wasp, Black Panther, Wolverine, and Quicksilver. Holy cow. I have no words. I love this setup so much. As you can tell, a lot of them are modern figures. The reason why is because we have our best looks of these characters in their modern form. A lot are 80th anniversary figures. So this Black Widow just came out. This Hawkeye's a vintage wave. Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, and Hulk are all 80th anniversary. Scarlet Witch has been out for a while, but I chose to use this Scarlet Witch rather than that one because that one's a little more evil and is more like Magneto's child type of Scarlet Witch. And we got Vision from the vintage wave, Ant-Man and Wasp from the vintage wave. With the Ant-Man has the Scott Lang head from the 2-pack with Stinger, I believe. We got a Hulk, like I said. Black Panthers from the vintage wave. Wolverine's from the Hulk versus Wolverine 2-pack, but I put one of the Love Triangle 3-pack heads on them because the yellows match, and it's just more of a classic look. I like that, like blue. And then Quicksilver here. Doctor Doom's behind them. So again, this shelf is mainly outer space type of heroes, comic wise. So you're gonna get a lot of kind of like Shield, Fantastic Four, big cosmic villains. Just a lot of, it's basically the Avengers plus, you know, shelf. It's like the big level heroes. So we got a different, you know, we got like the more kind of modern, the more of the, I don't even know what kind of look of Thor that is. We got the Iron Man from the Okoye wave, I believe. Hellcat's back there as well as Spidey, both classic Avengers, but it couldn't really fit him up in the front of this shelf. Plus that Spidey looks pretty bad because he's had a lot of work done. It's the Pizza Spidey. Same with that Vision, you know, completely doesn't even compare to this one. We got our Shield section. So we got Cap, Sharon Carter, I think Mockingbird's behind Hulk, and then we got Black Widow and Nick Fury. Dr. Doom's here because I really didn't have anywhere else to put him, and he requires quite a bit of room because of his cloth cape. I don't love the way the hood looks, so I'm gonna have to get another one to substitute. Got Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2 generations of. We have Hank Pym and Jenna Van Dyne back there, and then Scott Lang and Cassie Lang, although they're looking pretty weird because there's been some head swaps and different stuff going on there, but that's there. Then we have our Gladiator here, our Cosmic Spidey, Neymar, Black Bolts. We have all of them right here. I need to get an Illuminati section back here, but I'm running out of room, as you can tell. We got our Fantastic Four back there, a couple Black Panther characters, Claws back there. We got then our Cosmic Villains area. So we got Leader, we got Hydra, so we got the Captain America kind of Hydra converted figure. We got Batroc, we got Arnim Zola and Red Skull, and then we have a Nuke and just a Hydra soldier back there. And then behind them we have Ultron and Thanos, our 2 big, Avengers, I guess, rivals pretty much. And I think that's everyone on this shelf, guys. Like I said, the Rebel Tech figures aren't staying, they're gonna move, but I'm pretty happy with this. Now let's get into shelf number 2. And really the last figure shelf, really. So the shelf's pretty crazy, so we'll start in the left section. We're gonna have to zoom in on these, but we got we got our Spider-Man and Spider-Man villains area. So Ultimate Spidey, Black Suit Spidey, PS4 Spidey, Ben, Scarlet Spidey, oh my god, it's hard to say, Mary Jane, and then this Spidey has no hands or head because I took him off because I was using him as fodder for a GPS lock kind of custom figure I was making, but I'm going to put them back on. Then we got our villains. We got Vulture back there. This is like, the more the modern version. I'm trying to get the classic version. The Lizard, Jackal, Mysterio, Shocker, Kraven, Doc Ock, Venom, Black Cat, and then I think that's Tarantula right there. I'm trying to get the Eddie Brock Venom that's a lot bigger, so I need to get that, and then I need to complete my Sinister Six by getting Sandman. I'm missing Sandman, Classic Vulture, Electro, and I think that's it. I think. Because I already have Kraven and Mysterio and Ock, so I already have 3 versions, or 3 figures. Next we have our Defenders, our kind of street level heroes versus our street villains. So Ghost Rider's not a defender, and technically really neither is Punisher, but they're both kind of street heroes that are cleaning up the streets, vigilantes. And then we have all 3 versions of Daredevil. We got his classic yellow suit, his Shadowlands, I believe, black suit, and then his classic Daredevil suit. Elektra, who really isn't a defender, but is, intertwined with Murdoch, / Daredevil, so I have her there. Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jewel, and then Jewel's got Netflix Jessica Jones back there, because, why not? So we have that, and then we got, for our villains, we got Boomerang, Bullseye, and Kingpin. Those are our main 3 that are just chilling there, which I really like. And then we move on to, basically, besides the Stranger Things figures in here, which are mainly civilians, we move on to the craziest part of the collection, the army building section. So let's talk about these. So it's not all army building, but mainly is. So we got our Scorpion back there, our oh my god, Storm Collectible Scorpion, couple articulated icon Samurai. There's a Samurai there, a Samurai fell down back there, I think, maybe. And then a blue and white ninja. And then in the front we got 10 black ninjas, 1, 2, 3, 4 leaning back there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 black ninjas. The 2 masters are just missing their normal black heads, but I like them looking like masters. So we have our 10 black ninjas. We got our Dora Milaje army building. I believe only one's fallen over because I have technically 4 Dora Milaje, and then a Koye who's missing her Build-A-Figure leg, which I need her left leg. So if anyone has that, hit me up. But yeah, so we have our Dora Milaje back there. Then we got our prison dudes right here. These are all the Lex Luthor prison bodies, but with different heads. So we got our 5 prison guys right here, Army Builder collection. We got 6 of these Scourges with, are they Scourges? I think they're Scourges, with all custom heads. So we got these guys as well, they're more mercenaries. Then we got our Hydra collection. I think we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 regular Hydra soldiers and then 2 of the big boys. Looking to get a 10th just to make it 10. I know that's so stupid, but it irks me that it's only 9. It's this odd number, so I really want to make it 10. So yeah, so I'm gonna get a 10th, and then I think I'm planning on getting 6 AIM soldiers, so I don't know where those will go, but those are coming. Then we have our Thug army building areas. We got this WWE The Rock figure. Again, the 2 other Stone Cold Steve Austin and the one that I was just showing you guys that I have boxed up over there with GPS lock close will be a part of this Thug army builder because they'll kind of have expressions. As you can see, The Rock has this like angry expression, so it'll work great for ACBA. Then we have our Thugs. We got the Ross body with the beaten up Peter head from the Kraven's Last Hunt 2-pack. Then we have the Killmonger body on the Nick Fury from Captain Marvel. We have the Scarecrow head on the Mayfix Bancroft Joker body. And then we have the Crossbones head on the Professor Xavier body. That's why Xavier's not here, because honestly I use thugs more than I use Xavier. And then we have the, I guess the shield agent, I forget what head this is. It's the smiling head on the Claw body. So that's our thug, I guess, army builder. Then we have our civilians, mainly made out of Diamond Select, McFarlane, and NECA. You know, we got Bruce Wayne, who can just be whatever. We have our sheriff from Stranger Things, another kid from Stranger Things, 2 more kids from Stranger Things. We have this girl from, I forget, iZombie, I think. This guy from X-Files, I think, and then Riddler, or Enigma, who's just our basic scientist guy for the most part. And then we have our horror section just in the front here, which I'll probably end up moving to the detolf as well, but we got Freddy, Jason, and Michael. My essential 3 that I love to shoot. All I'm missing is Ghostface, and I got basically the only ones I'll mainly shoot. Pennywise I'd like to have, but he's not really essential. Last but not least, we have our crazy section. Now you're like, oh my god, take care of your figures and stuff, but honestly I rarely use any of this. This is mainly just fodder or characters that I use for other purposes or broken figures. Obviously you see the 2 dewbacks down here, and yeah, so that's mainly what that is. Nothing too crazy, but the dio right here is by my man Brian. I think his first name's Brian. His name on Instagram is like BTDAS, I think. So look out for pieces by him, but it's kind of like a temple diorama that I have out of stone, which is pretty cool. It's so big I couldn't store it anywhere else but down there. So let's close this off, and then boom, it's gone. So I can only open it whenever I need it, which is pretty cool. Next, you're probably wondering what's in these shelves, the other 4 I have. This is where I keep all my dioramas and props. So we'll talk about these. We got my hallway diorama by Tom Budd, looking amazing right here. The reason why there's no hardwood floor is because the hardwood floor is on top of it, because I end up using the hardwood floor with my other dios by Tom Budd, or just other dios in general more, so I just keep it on top rather than below it. And then we have our bins, but we'll talk about the top shelf first. We got this diorama by Lawless Studios. This is the half grass, half desert dio that I got, which is pretty cool. Underneath that is just my normal base that I use for most of my shots. Underneath that is my Extreme Set subway terminal. I rarely shoot that, I need to shoot more. Next, we have this dio from Force Photos. It's like basically just a kind of stone ruins with a lot of stone props on it. We have my battle damaged wall, my broken in wall right there that I keep behind that. Next, we have a lot of props. My system of sorting is I have my basically warehouse, street trash type props in here. So propane tanks, tires, chains, and then litter, just boxes and trash bags in there. There's way more to where that comes from, but that's mainly it. Next to that, or on top of that, we have the Wrestling Superstores props that I got, and then on top, next to that, we have my dumpster that I created, as well as 2 of the barriers from the Diamond Select Chitauri figures. We got 2 model cars, not model cars, I guess 2 cars that I use. One's RC and it's like a Mustang. The other's a really old vintage car that I need to paint up. So I got both those. We got some pallets right here that I keep just for easily grabbing them if I need them. We have this, which just has some propane tanks I painted up in a gas canister and stuff. Underneath this is our battle damaged area. That's where I keep all my battle damaged brick walls besides this piece. That piece is too big. And stones and just rubble. That's all in there. Next, over here is our figure accessory bin. That's where we keep all our Mezco figure accessories, Marvel Legends figure accessories, capes, extra hands, extra heads, all that's in there. Next, over here is our indoors accessories. This is where you find, the bedding, the chairs, the couches, the bookshelves, the desks, all that is in there. Next, and here's our effects. So we have just, explosion effects, fire effects, power effects, all that. All those effects are in there. Down here, we have a lot of our model stuff. So if you look, there's there's rooftops, there's model TIE fighters and Millennium Falcons in there. And yeah, and then underneath we really don't have a ton. There's some beach sand in a little makeshift towel I made and some tacks. It's kind of our random area. There's Legos behind it. There's some diffusing reflective white panels in case I ever need it for lighting. There's an extra, like I said, 4 things of atmosphere aerosol. This white foam right here is for snow if I ever want to use snow on my sets. And then this big bag is full of more poly in case I need it. And then the model kit Han Solo Stormtrooper that I need to build. And yeah, so now we'll close this off and we'll go into the second area. First, we'll talk about the edge right here. This is where we lead into our laboratory props. So you can see we got some kind of cool beams back there, mainly for concerts or lab equipment props. That's what that's mainly used for. So we open this up. Again, we'll start in the top shelf. We have our diorama by Tom Budd. This is our outside bodega diorama, as well as our indoor warehouse. You know, inside it's a warehouse, outdoor it's a bodega. Then we have our apartment diorama. This is, you know, inside it's an apartment, outside it's kind of basically the rooftop type of section of this. This is the one that has the fire escape I was talking about. And the reason, again, I can't use it is because that huge fire escape with the ladder can't fit in this on this piece for a display. So I have to use my really tall brick wall I made. This is just the rooftop piece. It's not fully in right now. It's supposed to like sink in there, but I just don't have it in. And this is the door to this piece here. And now going down, we have chaos, basically. This is the elevator shaft to Tom's apartment dio. This is a rooftop dio I made, and the pink pieces are just to like, basically they hold up the floor of it. Next, we have all these brick walls in the back are all made by me. These are kind of alleyway, rooftop, whatever you want to use pieces. There's a alleyway door back there. Then we have our rooftop. These should be up here. I don't know why they're down here. But then we have our rooftop accessories. So we have our rooftop access kind of fire escape type of door right there. We have our water tower and our electrical box there. Then we have, you know, you're wondering what this big grill is here. It's basically just jail bars. It's my jail bars prop, so that goes there. Our ubiquitous dio pieces kind of go in that bag for any time I want to use them in a lab. Our Muppets in Space play sets right here. We have, you know, this switch panel here. This is from the Incredible, like, these are all our laboratory props basically are right here. Next, in this bin up top, we have our nature props. So this is where you see Lawless's trees, a lot of my grass stuff, stones, stuff like that I use. Under this is just a lot of wood. It's basically wood logs and stuff that I collect from my yard in case I want to ever use real wood. And then basically we just go to our boxed figures section. This is pretty crazy. I only keep my import boxes, so these are all my imports right here. I don't keep my Legends boxes. There's really no point to me because Legends are so cheap. I just put their hands in one big handbag. But for these, I keep all their accessories in their original boxes. So we have our Star Wars, our like SHF section, a lot of that. Mezcos are kind of stacked up over here. Running out of room fast, as you can tell, but there's a lot. Normally the cutout binder goes right here in this little space right there, but right now it's just out. And then to the left, we have our GTP toy space walls. We have two sets of them, so the bottom set's right there and the top set's on top. And then we have these cardboard boxes and stuff in the blast door, and then ubiquitous pieces. And that's the whole collection, guys. I mean, it's pretty crazy down here, like I said, but I love it. I love how much room I have to display, to take photos, how much access I have to all these different props and figures that I can use. And yeah, so again, here's my tripod. So I just sit in my chair right here, rotate myself around, stick this to the tripod, and boom, I can just shoot. If you didn't notice, I have one of these. It's called a remote, as you can probably tell for your cameras. It's just an Amazon Basics Nikon remote, and it's just for basically photos, so you can remotely take them rather than clicking the shutter on your camera, because clicking the shutter on your camera causes it to shake, and when it shakes, then you're like, oh gosh, you know, the photo looks a little blurry, I wonder why. Well, that's why. So I just have this. I have actually two of them. The other is in my camera bag, but I have one always. Basically, when I clean up a display, I just put it out so I know where it is when I come down here. And yeah, guys, I think that's really it. Again, super happy to show you guys. I did this video because you guys requested it a lot on Instagram. So I wanted to show you guys my whole collection, where I keep everything, my sorting system, and basically how my whole studio works. And maybe you guys can model your stuff after me. I highly doubt any of you guys want to do that because it's pretty crazy. But it's pretty also crazy too, if you guys look back on my catching up videos specifically. I do a lot of catching up videos on like dioramas like a year or 2, 3 ago. That sounded really weird, but a year or 2 or 3 years ago. And you can see my room that I was working in. It's very cramped, it's very tight. I have everything strewn everywhere, strewn about everywhere. So getting this house in this basement to be a studio for me was amazing. And it's so nice because now it's no longer in my bedroom, so I don't have to like go to sleep right next to what I'm working on, you know. I can actually leave it down here, leave the lights off, and then come tomorrow with a fresh mind and like come down here. Have a little fridge right here so I can keep drinks in there if I want to, you know, drink some Gatorade while I'm shooting, I don't know. Yeah, so again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below or DM me on Instagram, which is Awan_Groundwalker, link in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.